Welcome back, and guess what? You just won the lottery!
Won lottery. Won lottery.
All right. Yep. Listen, you won the lottery. You got $5 million, and here's the question for today: how do you actually invest it to live just off of the interest? Hey, Steven, I got good news for you. Someone asked, one of our people here asked a really awesome question.
I like awesome questions.
And the question is, I won the lottery.
Woo!
I got $5 million in the bank right now. How should I invest to live off of the interest?
$5 million in the bank, invest to live off the interest.
Now, first of all, I just got to give a shout out and say, you smart.
Congratulations.
Because instead of saying, how do I spend it?
Yes.
You realize that it's all about living off of the interest instead of the principal.
Investing.
Anyone can spend $5 million. You can spend it like
fast.
that. But the question is, how do you keep your 5M, and then how do you actually produce interest?
And grow it at the same time.
So here's the deal. You're going to either look to make between 5 or 10% a year on your money. If you were making 10% on $5 million, you basically have $500,000 a year residual income. And that's very realistic. And what we're going to do today is Steve and I are actually going to show you how to do that in real estate. Let's see if we can actually beat out, realistically, $500,000. Let's see if we can beat 10% on the most conservative real estate on the planet.
Okay.
First of all, conservative.
Conservative.
Leveraged or paid off?
So if it's conservative, you're paid off.
So you're not going to have any loan. You're not going to have any risk.
No loans.
Let's play with that.
Very low risk. You know, your biggest risk is probably in proper property management, honestly.
Okay. All right.
But if you've got $5 million and let's say your average purchase price, let's say you're buying in the markets that we're in.
Let's say that we're going to our markets where we get the highest ROI on cash returns.
Great.
Cash flow producing.
Okay, so let's say that your average home is going to be about $150,000.
120 to 150 grand.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 homes roughly.
Per million.
5
million.
Okay.
35.
7. Thank you. So that's 35 homes.
So you got 35 homes that you could buy outright, paid off, free and clear, and after property management, if you had them each producing, let's say $1,100 a month.
Sure. Let's just do the math real quick.
So
35 homes times 1,100, that's 38,500.
Okay, now real quick, multiply it by 12 because that's what you're getting every month.
That's times 12.
Show them.
That's $462,000 a year.
Now, that's $462,000, which is just shy of 10%.
Yeah.
You're basically earning 9.5% every year on your money if it's just paid off, free and clear. Now, if you said to yourself, guys, but what if I want to keep my $5 million? What if I like that $460,000 a year? But let's just say I wanted my portfolio to grow more aggressively. Well, then what you'd do is you'd actually start putting 20 and 30% down payments on leveraged real estate. And if you were to do that, let's just take $5 million. Let's divide it by 35 grand each. You can now buy 143 homes instead of 35 homes.
Yeah.
And 143 homes bought with leverage, if they're each now producing, let's call it
400.
So now you're getting actually $57,000 a month. Now before you were getting $38,000.
Yeah.
So now you're getting 150% of cash flow. Multiply that by 12. Okay, now you're sitting at $685,000 of cash flow instead of $460,000. So that's about 140% increase from where you were at before.
Now, these numbers are a little skewed, obviously, because we'd have to take into consideration, you can typically only put 10 homes on your credit.
You'd have to use other people's
portfolio
credit,
lending.
Portfolio lending.
Yeah, some different things like that.
Yada, blah, 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 first world problems, right?
But the point is, depending on what you're used to making, my guess is if you're playing the lottery and you won the lottery, you're probably an average American, right?
Yeah.
You're probably making the average amount. Let's say maybe you're earning 60 grand a year. A little better.
This is a little better. Now, the other thing to know about this is that the $680,000 a year, now you're probably doing closer to 14 or 15% a year on your money. Yep. But leveraged real estate, remember, when the market goes up on 35 homes, now you're talking about the market going up on 142 homes, which means that you're $5 million in time at a 20% annual growth. You know, in 5 years, you're going to double your money. You're going to go from $5 million to a $10 million net worth. Right. And guess what happens to that cash flow as you double your portfolio? You go from $680,000 a month to over $1 million a month.
A year.
Real estate is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Did I answer the question?
I think it answered the question that if you won the lottery, had $5 million,
yeah.
what would you do to live off of the interest? Now, Stephen and I, there's some other things that we do. We play, if you check out some of our videos on blockchain, see some of the videos of what we're doing in some other things. You know, there's some different investments we play with, but right now, single family homes is really the bread and butter baseline foundation of being an American, right? This whole land was built on freedom, and real estate was built into the Constitution as a part of that freedom and the right to own land. So we're just getting you back to your roots and giving you an opportunity with that type of strategy to earn a safe 10% and up to 15% annual ROI. Listen, we're not promoting to actually buy lottery tickets because frankly, that's the luck method. But if you want to know the strategy method, if you want to know the hard work, get it done, the smart method, the system method, the work with the team, with the experience, the mentors that know how to make it happen, then you check the link in the description below or hike over to our website where we can share with you exactly how you make that happen. Otherwise, if you're smart, you're going to be subscribing right now.